Hello everyone. Today I want to talk to you about psychic attack. Psychic attack is basically a fancy name for negative energy being focused at you with either the conscious or subconscious intention for harm to come to you or any aspect of your life. Of course, psychic attack can take place on an energetic level, a mental level, an emotional level, or a physical level. These negative energies are projected in the form of thought and intention. They're a byproduct of the psyche. At the extreme end of the scale of psychic attack, we see the deliberate practices of hexes and curses, spells that were created to harm instead of benefit an individual. The reason that people feel so intimidated by psychic attack is firstly because they don't understand what it is, and secondly because of the name it was given. Because of the name that we gave psychic attack, people associate it with psychics, with the supernatural, and with magic. We call anything supernatural that we don't understand. The minute we understand it, it becomes natural. Psychic attack can involve ritualistic technique, but by far and away the majority of psychic attack is not ritual and involves nothing more than the thought and intention for harm to come to someone. Psychic attack has long been associated with voodoo and with a kind of witchcraft called black magic. Black magic is considered to be magic that is done against the free will of another person. In reality, you can't do anything against the free will of somebody else, because in order to experience anything in the first place, like someone harming you, you have to already be a vibrational match to that experience. The way that people think about us and feel towards us, as well as their energy that they're projecting towards us, creates strong energetic signatures, strong frequencies. And when we're exposed to those frequencies, like anything, they affect us. So here's some symptoms that you'll see in conjunction with psychic attack. Experiencing frightening nightmares. Seeing your attacker in a devilish way either in your dreams, your meditations, or your thoughts. Suddenly acting totally out of character. Major changes in clarity of thinking or analytical ability. Sudden ongoing fatigue for no apparent reason. A feeling of being drained. Icy cold feelings in parts of your body or all of your body. Hearing voices. Strange or reoccurring accidents. A discomfort or fear in a specific room or area in your home or office. Sudden illnesses that elude diagnosis. Feeling someone touch you or bump into you when no one's present. Sudden depression without an apparent cause. Seeming ongoing bad luck. Disturbing visions or hallucinations. Irrational fear, anger, or sorrow. A negative obsessive thought, desire, or fetish that won't go away. Having thoughts and images of your attacker creeping into your mind constantly. Or feeling that you're being watched and seeing shadows around you from the corner of your eye even when you're alone. As you can see, the symptoms that we see with psychic attack can also be attributed to a great many other things, which is why it's so hard to decide or decipher whether you are officially being attacked psychically or whether it is in fact caused by something completely unrelated. All of this being said, this couldn't be happening in your reality if you are experiencing psychic attack unless you have somehow made yourself a match to attack. That's super crucial. Being aware of psychic attack diminishes the effect of psychic attack significantly. Like anything, awareness is the first step. But when it comes to psychic attack, awareness has much more to it than just recognizing that it's happening. You also have to have an understanding of your attacker, and you have to have an understanding as to why you're lining up with this experience. In reality, psychic attack has everything to do with the out-of-alignment state of the attacker and the out-of-alignment state of the victim. Psychic attack is based mainly upon jealousy, anger, revenge, or perceived powerlessness to you, or fear of you. The psychic attacker, like the victims they choose, is a person full of trauma. They view the world through the eyes of trauma and create lots of drama because they engage with the world as if the world is a hostile environment. In essence, they live in a state where they vacillate between attack and defense. It's really important to think about it this way. In order to understand psychic attack, it's important to understand that no one will ever attack you unless they think they've been attacked first. This may confuse you, so to clarify, let's take jealousy. If someone's jealous of you, they perceive your presence as being an attack on their self-worth. And because of that perceived attack, they feel as if it's warranted for them to attack back. In their minds, they don't see this as the first initiation of attack. They see this as a defense. As far as the victim is concerned, it's important to understand that if you were truly in alignment, you would be so far outside the vibrational range of a reality where you could experience someone attacking you or coming up against you, that you wouldn't even meet them. They wouldn't even show up in your reality. We cannot discuss psychic attack without discussing victimhood. The victim does not know that they are the initiator of the experiences that they have. All the psychic attacker is a vibrational match to the unhealed aspects of us, mostly that reside in the subconscious that we are not yet aware of. You cannot be a match to the psychic attack unless there is a point of attraction of it within you. So universally, this point of attraction to it is seen as an asking for it. If you do not have any awareness of why these things are coming into your reality, because you're not aware of your shadows, and you're not aware that your reality is happening in response to your vibration, then you're living in a reality where you're looking out at the world and you're seeing bad things happen to good people, people who don't deserve these things. And so you come to the conclusion that it's possible for other things to inflict themselves upon your reality. From there, it's a very easy jump to say, I need to start defending myself. I need to figure out a way to protect myself. I need to get bigger weapons so that I can fight against this. But therein lies the problem. Like all things, you cannot push against psychic attack and not draw it to you. When you give your attention to someone or something else that causes you to feel negative, you yourself are pinching yourself off from the flow of infinite energy to you, and you blame the way you feel on them. They are the quote-unquote reason you unintentionally cut yourself off from your own alignment. You blame them for how you now feel because the way you feel happened in response to placing your attention upon them. The problem is you cannot blame someone else for how you feel and not simultaneously acknowledge or activate the vibration within you of your own powerlessness. Powerlessness increases our victimhood vibration and thus increases our manifestation of psychic attacks. Prolonged states of anger, rage, resentments, bitterness, vindictiveness, fears, and suppressed trauma from childhood will draw and attract people who are so not self-aware that they carry out psychic attack. Ongoing repressed negative emotions will always eventually turn into a physical reflection of those emotions. To explain psychic attack, I'm going to share a personal story. Last year, I flew to the East Coast to hold one of my workshops, and the day before the workshop, I held an art gala where I could expose my frequency paintings to the world and also sell them. A very disturbed woman showed up to that party that night, and she was operating from a space of jealousy. Having considered herself to be a shaman and nearly 60 years older than me, she was very frustrated that I was experiencing the kind of attention that she had always wanted but had never achieved. To justify that anger and resentment for how she felt, she decided that I was Illuminati. So she proceeded throughout the night to walk around the room picking up crystals and attempting to cast hexes on me and the people who were attending the gathering. And that same night, as I was interacting with other people at this gathering, she invited people into the hallways to convince them why I was Illuminati, how I was controlling them, and to try to convince them not to attend the workshop the next day. She actually did succeed that night in persuading about 12 to 15 people not to show up that next day for my workshop, as they confessed to me later. Long story short, I felt completely targeted. For a while, I felt like I was being attacked, like I didn't deserve it, but it was coming at me. Now, if I didn't understand psychic attack, I would have missed the fact that I became a match to that for a very specific reason. When I paid attention to the way I felt about the experience, I noticed that it wasn't a new feeling. What it was a perfect reflection of how I felt growing up in a Mormon town, where those families, especially the women in those families, ostracized me from the society and separated me from their children who I really wanted to play with. They drove a wedge between me and the people I was trying to connect with. This woman was a messenger that was trying to relay to me an unhealed aspect of my being. It was an opportunity presented by the universe for me to heal an unhealed aspect of my childhood trauma. If I had missed that by thinking that I simply need to protect myself more, or I need to combat that with some energy technique or some other spell to try to prevent people from doing that in the future, I would have missed the opportunity to come into a space of integration about that subject of ostracization and being targeted and being called out unfairly. She was, in fact, a messenger for a great many people who were at that particular gathering that evening, not just me. She mirrored a lot of suppressed trauma for many people who attended that event. Sorry. If psychic attack has shown up in your reality, use the contrast of that psychic attacker to do two things. The first is to recognize the reflection of someone projecting negative energy in your direction as a reflection of a deeply suppressed trauma within you, a reflection of past feelings of powerlessness, despair, desperation, hopelessness, fear, and unfairness. Explore the feelings you have about being a victim or experiencing undeserved harm. This is what the revolutionary psychologist Carl Jung would have called shadow work. Prod around in the subconscious in order to heal your unresolved traumas. 2. Use it to design your reality by identifying your desire. Realize what you want is to be more in control of your own vibration than this. What you want, for example, might be empowerment and allowing. And go in the direction of that. Do more things that cause you to feel empowered. Pay attention to anything or anyone that causes you to feel more allowing of other people and how other people choose to behave. Understand that you can't arrange the circumstances of your reality enough to control everyone else's behavior. And you can't think about protecting yourself without simultaneously creating the experience of having something that you need to protect yourself against. Once you control your own vibration, you are exempt from experiencing other people affecting or creating the way that you feel. All other modalities of dealing with psychic attack must come second to this. There are many techniques for warding off psychic attack, which you can use in conjunction with becoming aware of your own shadow aspects and integrating your past trauma, as well as increasing your vibration. I'm going to list some for you today. The first and foremost is white sage. You can buy white sage as an essential oil and you can dab it on your pulse points. You can also plant it around your house. But by far the best way to use white sage is to get a smudge stick. What you do is you take the smoke of the white sage plant around your house. You can also use your hand to wipe it into your auric field. White sage is an amazing neutralizer of negative energies, and it's been used for thousands upon thousands of years for this very reason. Carry the minerals whose frequency is the very best at deflecting negative energies, transforming negative energies, and cloaking. In my opinion, the very best are black tourmaline, obsidian, pyrite, moldavite, spirit quartz, fire agate, and chiastolite. Use herbs or plants that are the very best at deflecting negative energies. In my opinion, these are sage, rosemary, eucalyptus, frankincense, oregano, clove, lavender, juniper, ylang ylang, tea tree, and sandalwood. Visit energy worker professionals who you feel drawn towards, who are adept at auric cleansing and who are also versed in psychic attack. Visit open-minded, spiritually oriented psychologists who are adept at helping you do shadow work, who are adept at helping you become conscious of the subconscious and recognize limiting and non-healthy patterns within you. Now I'm going to give you a special little treat. I'm going to share with you a spell formula that's been used for thousands of years to help deflect negative energies. Originally it was known as a protection spell, but as we know now, any kind of protection only creates something which needs to be protected against. Nonetheless, this particular formula is very adept at deflecting negative energies. To do this, we put 8 ounces of water in a spray bottle. Make sure the water is obtained from a natural, pure, fresh source such as spring water, lake water, river water, or artesian well water. If you absolutely can't find natural water, use bottled spring water. Put 6 drops of rosemary oil, 6 drops of sandalwood oil, 8 drops of frankincense oil, 5 drops of juniper oil, and 3 drops of lavender oil into the water. Add 8 fennel seeds and 3 whole cloves. Drop 3 small protection stones of your choice into the water. My favorite is black tourmaline. Expose the mixture to the color violet. To do this, you can imagine the color being diffused into the mixture, or you can cover the bottle with a violet-colored cloth. Then, by projecting your intention into the mixture, you can mentally ask the ingredients to awaken. Ask them to help clear you of negative energies and deflect negative energies directed at you. This is, of course, a very personal experience, and so it will vary how much time it takes for you to ask these ingredients to awaken. But when you feel as if the time spent focusing your intention towards the creation is sufficient, or when you feel as if the ingredients are coming alive, shake the mixture 28 times and spray yourself and anything else you want to shield with it. Shake and respray it anytime you feel like you need it. This mixture will last for about 3 months before it loses its potency and will need to be replaced. Make sure you store it in an area where it's shielded from absorbing other energies within the house. Another thing you can do to thwart psychic attack is to do meditations and visualizations. Of course, like anything, there's a great many available to you to choose from. But my personal favorite are focused on cleansing. My favorite visualizations entail visualizing a white liquid light that is flowing through your body and cleansing every aspect of your body, both inside and outside, and your auric field. You don't need to be guided to do this. All you need to do is, with your intuition, imagine this liquid white light flowing through your veins into every tiny cell, inside of your bones, outside through your auric field, to whatever degree you feel completely cleansed. Another thing you could do is to do a meditation or visualization on taking a sacred bath. You can visualize getting into a sacred pool of water, a lake, a stream, an actual bath, anything, and visualize the water being whatever color you want it to, with the understanding that it's going to wash away all the impurities and negative energies within your body. So visualize this water healing you as the negative energies leave your body. Visualize the particles of negativity or the energy of that negativity being taken away from you, flowing into the earth and being claimed by the earth energy, and then, because the earth energy is as powerful as it is, being transformed by the earth. Knowing, of course, that you're completely cleansed now and refreshed. These visualizations can be greatly enhanced by doing them while taking an actual bath in water where Himalayan salt or sea salt has been intentionally added to the water. When you have successfully addressed the shadows within you that made you a match to the experience, and when you've come into a place of empowerment, then it's a good idea to develop compassion for your psychic attacker. Chances are you have no idea how painful the life of the psychic attacker is. The reason is, you can't project out any ill intention without receiving it back. This is why in witchcraft they have the law of 3. The law of 3 basically states that whatever intention you put out, you get back threefold, 3 times bigger. And this makes sense from a vibrational standpoint, because whatever energy you project, when you focus on it longer, it comes back bigger. That means that the lives of people who engage in psychic attack are acutely painful. They will experience attack themselves again and again throughout life. They will seem like victims. Psychic attack is not something to be afraid of. It is not something mystical or supernatural that is beyond our control. It is in fact just the natural byproduct of people, including us, living in a world where the negative trauma that we experience causes us to fall out of alignment. The most important thing to understand about psychic attack is that psychic attackers are not there to attack you. They are, in fact, just messengers that the universe is sending you for unhealed, unconscious aspects of your psyche and of your reality that wish to be seen and acknowledged, that wish to be integrated. In other words, they are reflections of unhealed aspects of you that are begging for healing. Psychic attack is a call for further healing and integration so that we can become more whole. Have a good week.